Here we go then, day 4 of Every Time I Die running. Oh. My legs are in a dark place, they really are. When I said I was going to do a week of training to them, we did a vote and we decided to leave the best till last, and that was, as decided by you, low teens. Got a lovely hole in my trainers. Woo! Look at that! I did like a 39-minute 10 kilometer, and I've done 2 37-minute 10 kilometers back to back. Honestly, right, it feels like my knees have done a lot of thinking. Get ready for the hill. There's a hill, I can see it from here. Well, I can't. I know it's there. My final Every Time I Die run in what has been an amazing week. An amazing week. Here we go then. Low teens. And the watch is on, the music is on, and we're off. Let's go, 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 go. Da, na, 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 na. Hello, why is a big one? Hello, hill. We meet at last. Why have I done this hill? That reminds me of something. When I finish this hill, I'll talk about it. These riffs, wow, they're just so chunky. That sounds different. On the guitars, it's like a machine. It's like kneeling before a machine and speaking to it. Yeah, I'm sure he said, I got my breath now, that the desert was lonely. That reminds me of something from Narcissus and Goldmund by Hermann Hesse, where he says lust doesn't last long or something. Lust leaves you alone in the desert again. Is this album about lust? Is it about love versus lust? I don't know. I wish you could smell the warmth of this lane. What an amazing smell. This music it's as frantic and as hard as ever, but there's like a constant pulse in it. I don't know, it's as if all this crazy stuff is going on, but there's this calm mind in the middle of it. Oh, ow, ow. It's like, what's more important, love or lust? I don't talk about lust as in sleeping around. Lust as in like rock and roll is lust. And that's what I felt on the album yesterday. I felt excited because I felt the lust of being on tour. I wanted to be on tour. Oh, let's go for it. That line, I knew I was alive because I wanted to die. Again, it reminds me of Hermann Hesse in Steppenwolf. I think he says, you're a coward. You want to die but you're scared to stay alive. Yes, like all good rock and roll. There's two opposing questions going head to head here. I'm feeling it. My legs are done already. And he's singing and he's aware of everything a band has done up until now. And it's, I don't know how, but it's fitting in with my idea that they are generating the heat now. The new albums, that's the heat. And I don't know, it's as if he's almost saying everything has led up to this. This is incredible, like the music is so different. This is the feeling I'm getting, right? On every album up until now, it's like the singer and the band are launching themselves towards something at the same time. This one, it feels almost as if the singer is stationary. He's like gathering his thoughts, and the band are just building something, building a structure that he can get carried on. What? He's singing, he wants to live in the year 2000, I think. That's near the start of the band. It's amazing. This is like the fire being built. It's like the band understand his state of mind, and they've written something for him to just slot into because they know what he needs in order to say what he has to say. Oh bloody hell, I'm doing laps of a hospital car park now. This album is so funky. Down, down, down. Coming up to 5 kilometers. I think it's going to be bang on 20 minutes. There's another few references here to being in the desert, and I can't help but think of Hermann Hesse comparing lust to the desert. And it's like he's after something more than that, you know? What if I was just someone to fuck? Lust versus love again. This really is quite incredible. I'm going to slow it down a bit because there's like, in the albums before, there's like so much excitement. Like, I was getting caught up in the idea of being on a road with these guys. And it's almost as if they're looking at their career now and thinking, we've been dealing so much with lust. We forgot about love. We forgot about the big answers. Amazing. That line, I need to save the life of God. It reminds me of Isaac Asimov, his short story, The Final Question. I need to run for a bit. I think we'll talk about that at the end of this run. Squirrel! Come on, legs. I promise you an easy day tomorrow. So many hills. What am I doing to myself? What was once a ladder, now a crutch. What they used before to get to where they are now is now a hindrance. It's time to think differently. What a solo! I needed that! I think we're about half hour in. I'm too scared to look at my watch. This is honestly the most fucked I've been since I started these. Not only because the running is hard, but I'm just getting my mind blown by this album. It is the best. It's the best album. How? The guitar again. It's got that feeling of kneeling before a computer. Again, really reminded me of Isaac Asimov. The final question, which I will talk about in a bit, I swear. I don't feel like I'm running. I feel like I'm pushing against the earth and making it rotate. Another hill! Ah! I think any other album I would have given up by now. I feel like they need me there. How selfish is that? But I feel like this album needs me to run to the end. You right? See you later, wish me luck.
All the best.
Yes, come on.
Put yourself in.
See you later. Fuck! This music, oh my god! It's amazing! This one sounds like Metallica! I've got a second wind! I've got 12 minutes left! Come on! I feel like I've saved my hardest run for the hardest album. And it's strange because I think in terms of themes, it's really quite simple. I think it's just two big questions being asked. But it's just, they're the big questions. They're the big questions like life and death, love or lust, and oh, it's hard listen, and it's hard to run to, but I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't know how to say this without sounding crazy, but it reminds me of a Radiohead album. It's like a metal version of Radiohead. I don't know what it is, but there's something futuristic. I don't know, like the blinking lights of an airplane. It's like that. It's like carrying this message that we can all see. Would it make sense if I said every time I die you're seeing their old selves like a ship and they are deliberately sinking that ship to start again? Would that make sense? Because that's what it feels like to me. I'm the man who sank Atlantis. I'm the man who got rid of something that you thought was perfection so I could really start again to a new level of perfection. I don't know. Ah! It's as if they've worked out how to reverse entropy. Just magic, absolute magic. We're nearly done. I'm not running very fast at all. In fact, I don't even think I'm running. I think I'm dreaming. Look at this. Looks like piss. Oh my word. Oh, hang on. Oh, seriously, that was the hardest week of training I've done since I was a professional athlete, honestly. Right. I gotta make sure I say this right because I think it's quite important, but I referenced there that reminds me of the final question by Isaac Asimov, and that's about a computer that spends billions of years trying to answer a question that humans have put into it, and at the end of the world the computer says something and then the world is like the universe is created again, and it says something about like the computer looks at, I think the computer's called AC, it looks at what used to be the universe and is now chaos, and then it says let there be light, so it starts again. And there's references in there to like a cycle being broken. He said he needs another universe because he's broken his, and it really feels like that album felt like the questions that the band have had their entire career have been fed into that album, and that album has answered the question by starting again. I don't know, it was amazing. It's like it's just an incredible thing. That record's just incredible. It feels like it's just looked back at all the other albums, and I heard it referenced from Parts Unknown in there, like, so even references the album that came before it, and it's just like gone in an explosion of light. Let's start again. We know what's important. Let's start again. And just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. That was a week of Every Time I Die running. I know lots of you have joined in with me. Thank you very much for doing it. I've enjoyed it. We'll get back on. We're doing different bands next week, but wow, that was real tough. What a workout. Strava says I'm fitter than ever. My tinnitus says my ears are crazy. I don't know. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm just blown away by that album. See you later. Have a nice day. Be excellent. Be kind.